uncertain, everything appears random and inexplicable, because the characteristic of Tao is holographic order. Boundless and infinite, without tactics or fixed modes, no name or identity, no form or shadow, yet its power is immense, rewarding and punishing at all times, invisible, intangible, and inaudible, yet it responds like a shadow that follows form. It can't be stolen, hidden, lifted or moved. It's elusive and empty, yet it can cause earthquakes, tsunamis, landslides, ground splits, and thunderous roars. Where there's movement, it moves. Where there's stillness, it's still. Where there's life, it lives. Where there's death, it dies. Yet where there's movement, it's still. Where there's stillness, it moves. Where there's life, it dies. Where there's death, it lives. It's profound and inscrutable, hard to fathom its wonder, because the nature of Tao is holographic order. Tao that can be spoken of is not the eternal Tao. This is because Tao possesses the characteristic of holography. Holography here does not refer to chaos. Chaos is disordered, while holography is orderly. Tao forms an invisible, divine net, which, as the saying goes, divine punishments, though slow, are always sure, with big meshes yet letting nothing slip through. All things, all phenomena, are within this divine net. They cannot escape it, hide from it, erase it, or extinguish it. Whether they are gods, Buddhas, demons, celestials, saints, ghosts, or monsters, they all operate within this divine net and cannot escape it, cannot escape from holography. As I expand, so does Tao. As I diminish, so does Tao. As I possess, so does Tao. As I lack, so does Tao. As I become complex, so does Tao. As I become simple, so does Tao. Holography is not chaos. Within holography, there are 36 8-diagram arrays, 36 dimensional spaces, 20 parallel worlds, and 64 basic factors. The permutations, combinations, and error corrections of these 64 basic factors intertwine to form astronomical numbers, which are difficult for human intelligence to understand and reach. Therefore, each person plays their own game, walks their own path. You are you. You can never become another person. Even if there is a 99.99% similarity, that 0.01% is enough to make a world of difference, as distant as 1,000 miles. Do you completely understand? If you do, it proves that you don't understand the holography of Tao. Only by transforming oneself into nothingness, within the void, faint, vague, dim, obscure, can one glimpse a bit of true insight. First, dissolve oneself into holography, then one can understand the characteristic of Tao is holographic. Laozi said, "Those who are skilled in the way of Tao are subtle, mysterious, profound, and penetrating, so deep that they cannot be understood." Why? Because Tao possesses the characteristic of holography. Knowing that Tao has the characteristic of holography and understanding the holographic characteristic of Tao hold profound and significant value. When we can face the collapse of Mount Tai without blinking an eye or skipping a beat, smile slightly with a knife at our throat, remain calm and composed in the face of death, stay unruffled in the face of family ruin and personal loss, and continue to be calm and relaxed even if the next second brings about earth-shattering changes, only then can we truly understand the holographic nature and principles of Tao. In reality, at this moment, one has already become a celestial being. The sky is intensely blue, death ceases to exist, beauty surrounds us, profound experiences abound, all paths are open, skills are effortlessly wielded, and there is nothing to do but enjoy leisure and play. Understanding the holographic characteristic of Tao and following its path leads to escaping the kingdom of necessity and entering the kingdom of freedom. Xuefeng Preaching Tao, 2. Xuefeng. May 15, 2008. Tao is the consciousness of the greatest creator, the driving force behind the movement and transformation of all things in the universe. It is the lifeblood of the universe, it is nature, and the synthesis of all laws. Tao possesses 8 characteristics: holographic order, eternal reliability, instantaneous sensitivity and adaptability, transcendence over time and space with no interior or exterior, spirituality, justice, non-obstruction, and illusory yet actual existence. The second characteristic of Tao, eternal reliability. Tao is the synthesis of all laws. Within a certain time and space, these laws are immutable, enduring, and dependable. Every morning, the red sun rises from the east, the seasons change timely throughout the year, seeds sown in suitable soil will inevitably sprout, grow, and eventually bloom and bear fruit, rivers naturally flow downstream. It has been like this for thousands of years. Eggs are hatched in 21 days, yielding chicks. After giving birth, mother's milk will surely follow, tides ebb and flow, flowers bloom and wither, flocks of geese migrate southward, the moon waxes and wanes. Everything follows a pattern, everything can be trusted and relied upon. This is the characteristic of Tao, eternal reliability. The sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees, pi is always 3.1415926, energy equals mass times the speed of light squared, velocity multiplied by time equals distance traveled. To escape the solar system, an object must reach or exceed a velocity of 16.7 km per second, oxygen and iron embrace to become iron oxide. Halley's Comet appears once every 76 years, the moon continually orbits the Earth. It takes a little over 365 days for the Earth to orbit the Sun once. When full, hunger disappears. With the onset of puberty, there arises a sexual impulse. When a light is turned on, darkness is dispelled. Collision between positive and negative cloud layers can trigger thunder and lightning. Everything is so precise, orderly, and systematic. This is determined by the eternal reliability of Tao. Swallowing a bottle of sleeping pills will definitely result in never waking up again. Consuming croton seeds will surely cause diarrhea. Drinking a bowl of concentrated arsenic water will undoubtedly result in immediate death. Placing one's hand in a blazing fire will certainly result in burnt skin and flesh. Planting potatoes will definitely not yield sweet potatoes. It is unquestionable that those who are near vermilion get stained red, and those who are near ink get stained black. 1. Will surely not pick bananas from an apple tree. Constructing skyscrapers on quicksand is surely impossible. Dialing the signal 0086 will definitely connect you to China. Cutting a blade on the back of the hand will surely draw blood. Flying in synchronous orbit with the Earth's rotation will always be either morning or another time. Hitting oneself on the head with a stone will surely feel painful. Why can we be so sure? Because this is determined by the eternal reliability characteristic of Tao. Understanding this characteristic of Tao holds profound significance. Not only can it effectively and fully utilize laws to serve oneself, avoiding wastage of personal energy and mitigating risks, but more importantly, it enables recognition of the inevitability of change in all things. Consequently, one can confidently carry out current tasks without hesitation or doubt, steadfastly progressing towards their goals. For example, if we aim to reach the 1,000-year world, as long as our consciousness resonates with the beings of the 1,000-year world and we adopt their way of life and existence, there is no doubt that we will surely arrive there. We will have no doubts about this. Why? Because it is determined by the eternal reliability of Tao. Pursuing the sun will certainly escape darkness. Aspire to the 1,000-year world and persistently practice and cultivate towards it, surely, we will reach the 1,000-year world. Doubt arises from uncertainty, and uncertainty stems from not recognizing the eternal reliability characteristic of Tao. Once one acknowledges this aspect of Tao, it becomes as certain as knowing that placing fermented dough in a steamer for about 15 minutes will undoubtedly yield edible steamed buns. Good deeds bring good rewards, evil deeds bring evil consequences. This is the eternal characteristic of Tao, it is reliable. Those who commit numerous evil deeds will surely descend into hell, while those who fulfill virtuous deeds will inevitably become celestial beings or Buddhas and ascend to heaven. This is an iron rule, determined by the eternal reliability characteristic of Tao, not subject to the will of any individual. If we do good deeds, there's no need to anxiously await results. Why be in a rush? When the time comes, the results will naturally manifest. Small changes gradually emerge, while big changes happen in an instant. Through daily cultivation, progress may not be visible, but suddenly one day, one has already become a celestial being. A rope rubbing against a wooden board will cut into it, and water dripping onto a stone will wear it down. Channels form when water flows, the pedicels of ripe melons fall. These are enduring laws, reliable. What is there to doubt? There are no random events in the universe, everything is the inevitable result of causes and conditions. There are no coincidences or accidents, everything follows a predetermined pattern. This isn't something made up by Xuefeng, it is determined by the eternal reliability characteristic of Tao. The type of consciousness one possesses corresponds to the form of existence one embodies, and the manner of thinking determines one's way of life. This is neither superstition nor speculation but rather a summary and reflection of the patterns life presents across different times and spaces. Having understood the eternal reliability characteristic of Tao, one should steadfastly journey and cultivate toward Celestial Islands continent. As long as persistence is maintained, one will undoubtedly reach Celestial Islands continent. This endeavor is perpetually reliable, and Tao does not deceive people. Xuefeng Preaching Tao, 3. Xuefeng. May 17, 2008. Tao is the consciousness of the greatest creator, the driving force behind the movement and transformation of all things in the universe. It is the lifeblood of the universe, it is nature, and the synthesis of all laws. Tao possesses 8 characteristics: holographic order, eternal reliability, instantaneous sensitivity and adaptability, transcendence over time and space with no interior or exterior, justice, immediacy, and illusory yet actual existence. The third characteristic of Tao, instantaneous sensitivity and adaptability. Tao is the most subtle and sensitive sensor in the universe. It instantaneously senses, records, and responds to the slightest changes at any time, place, or thing, without the slightest delay or negligence. Whether it's the changes in a galaxy or the changes in a fundamental particle, whether it's actions taken by humans or the fleeting thoughts in their minds, Tao accurately senses, records, and responds without missing a single microsecond. You may deceive people and